ever had was OnlyFans. Fuck you. And I didn't run my own OnlyFans. I ran my best friend's OnlyFans. She's a stepmom porn star. She specializes in MILF porn. If you don't know what a MILF is, that's an industry term for a woman who is 28. If you don't get that joke, you're the problem. And I went over to her house. She's having a rough go. She's like, I think I have to take a break. My fans are going through it. And I was like, oh, you can't talk to your sad boys? I could do that. She was like, fucking prove it. She threw a phone at me and was like, here, you be me for a week. I lasted 6.5 weeks as a stepmom porn star. And the fucked up thing is, I was good at my job, okay? I made $3,000 my first week, and she's like, what the fuck are you doing? And here's what I did, guys. I gave those boys the one thing they had never had before. I gave them a good mom, okay? Like, day one kid, I was like, sup, mommy, show me them tits. And I was like, I can't believe you speak to a woman you just met like that. I bet you're not doing very well. I bet your bed's not made. And like 8 minutes, just the ... stop, ... stop. And he hit me back, he's like, how did you know I'm not doing too well? And I said, a mother always knows, send me $50. Over 6 weeks, what I did was raise up a generation of men, guys. I taught them about dating, I taught them about like good work advice, and then they'd be like, here's my dick, and I'd be like, good dick. It was an easy job, okay? It was less degrading than any office job I've ever had. And here's what broke me. It wasn't the sexting or the intimacy, I could handle that. What fucked me up was a question I did not realize that men were asking, because I've been with the same gal for 22 years, all right? I didn't realize men were asking this. I'm curious, if you like dick in this room, has someone with a dick ever asked you, is this the biggest one you've ever seen? Yeah? You've apparently asked that a lot. I didn't know men were asking that question. I didn't know they were asking a question scientifically designed to hurt their own feelings, okay? And every day they'd be like, is this the biggest dick you'd ever seen? I'd be like, it's bigger than mine, but they didn't want to hear that. So I'd be like, that dick's so big you need a license to use it. And they'd be like, so top 5? And I was like, yeah, top 5, baby. How fucking broken are you? You know? And that's what did it for me. I was just like, I can't handle these motherfuckers being like, top 5 every day. And I drove to her house and I knocked on her door and I was like, I'm out of the game. She's like, why? And I was like, the boys are going through it. You know? She's like, what was it? And I said, they kept asking if they had the biggest dick I'd ever seen. And I was like, well, she's like, yeah, they'll do that, you know? And then, I want to be real with you, I apologized to her. I said, hey, I'm really sorry. She's like, why? And she said, the only reason I had this job is because I was a dick to you. Like, you told me about something I didn't understand because I didn't think about how hard porn might be. I thought it was cheap and easy. I was a shitty friend to you, and I thought that I could do it. It never occurred to me how much humanity I might see or how hard it might be, and I'm really sorry. I love you, and I owe you an apology. And my friend looked at me and said, I love you, and it's okay. I want you to know I'm not a victim. Technically, I was your pimp. But if it matters, I want you to know you're not the first person to ever help me with this, but as far as I'm concerned, you're one of the best. And I was like top 5, you know?